Welcome back, strangers. Bienvenidos. I'm Britt.
And I'm Dee.
Welcome to another episode of It's a Strange World After All. The podcast where we discuss true crime cases, the supernatural, urban legends, conspiracy theories, and all of the things that keep the world strange. In last week's episode, we had that 2-for-1 episode, and we discussed the Villisca axe murders, and we started the Axeman of New Orleans. In last week's episode, the Axeman appeared to be subdued after the townspeople basically was like, no, we about to hold it down for the town. In today's episode, we have a part 2 of the Axeman of New Orleans. Is it New Orleans or New Orleans?
I say New Orleans.
New Orleans. Let's find out what happens after almost a 7-month hiatus. Disclaimer, Dee took a sleeping pill.
Don't say that.
And
I thought we were done.
It's been a long night, but we're going to do it to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Oh, also, this is the last recording in our ghetto apartment.
Thank God.
In our hood rich apartment. And it's been pretty noisy. So,
yeah.
Again, we got to get her to bed.
Yeah, I have to work in the morning.
So we're going to truck along.
Charles Cortamiglia was an Italian immigrant who lived with his wife Rosie and their infant daughter Mary. On March 10th, 1919, screams were heard coming from their home. Lorlando.
It's a stupid name. I thought it was Orlando.
No.
It's Lorlando.
Lorlando Giordano rushed across the street to see what was going on. The family was rushed to the hospital, but their daughter did not survive. Again, they found out that the axe used belonged to the family. Charles was released 2 days later while Rosie stayed in the hospital.
I'm going to say it again, maybe for the last time. I just don't understand the axes. Like, what?
Yeah, why are you keeping them?
Yeah. Like, even though about 7 months had passed, I think I would still be on edge because they hadn't actually
caught him yet.
Yeah. We need the axes to chop wood. When Rosie regained consciousness, she accused Lorlando and his 18-year-old son, Frank, believing that they were responsible for the attack. However, Lorlando was a 69-year-old man who... Why is his son 18? Okay. He was a 69-year-old man who was in poor health, and his son was more than 6 feet tall and over 200 pounds. He was too big to fit his ass through the panel of the door the killer used to enter the home. So, nix that theory.
I mean, why would she accuse them though?
Maybe she just remembered his face.
Maybe.
Like as he was rushing across, like as she was losing consciousness, maybe she saw him and was like, oh, he's responsible.
Charles denied his wife's accusations, but the 2 men were charged and found guilty. A year later, Rosie recanted, saying she falsely accused the 2 out of jealousy and spite. The men were released.
What jealousies and spites?
So when I was researching this, they never said, they just said jealousy and spite.
What? I'm jealous and spites. Rosie is a buster. She's like Carolyn Bryant. That's her name, right? The lady that accused Emmett Till of whistling at her. Yes. She is the Karen of the early 1900s. She's a Karen. White women, listen to me. Hear my words. Your actions have consequences. You cannot just go around making false accusations. People's lives are involved.
I agree.
She was just like, oh, I just was so jealous and spiteful. I just had to, bitch, raggedy bitch. Oh, Dusty. That's ridiculous.
It is. Charles and Rosie would end up getting a divorce.
He should have left her ass, her raggedy ass. They should have put her under the jailhouse.
Yes.
On March 13th, 1919, a letter from the Axeman was published in the newspaper. This is like one of the most interesting parts of this entire story, that he did this, that he wrote a letter and got the newspaper to put it in the newspaper.
Yeah.
So in this letter, he says he would never be caught, that he is not even human. He's a spirit. He is a spirit, a fallen demon from the deepest pits of hell.
So when I said I had something to say about that, so that is actually a theory that some people have, that he is a demon, and that's how he I mean, I don't know if maybe he was a demon. I don't know.
And maybe he was the Reverend Kelly. He had came from Villisca. He's traveling. He was a traveling Reverend posing demon.
Yeah, basically.
Basically. We solved it. He insults the police, calling them stupid, which they are.
They are.
Not in general. Yeah. These police people in this story are stupid.
Yes.
And threatening them to cease all efforts in finding him. So he was like, play, cuz you need to back off, you dummies. You weirdos.
Oh my God.
He goes on to basically say that the people of New Orleans think of him as this terrible murderer, but he could do a lot worse if he wanted.
What's worse?
Wait, I believe the direct quote was, you think of me as a most horrible, hold on, do I know a Cajun accent?
Don't.
Like a Colonel Sanders, like a
you
Renee.
Have to do a New Orleans accent.
You think of me, hold on. What's your net work?
Oh my God.
You think of me as a horrible murderer?
She's not a woman.
City girl. This was city. Okay, I can't do a Cajun accent. You think of me as a most horrible murderer, which I am. But it can be a lot worse. I could have did a lot, Yes, a couple of people died. Somebody lost their baby, but it could have been worse. He threatened that he could kill thousands because he personally knew the angel of death.
Okay.
So do Billy and Mandy, but
I was going to say the Jamaican Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
Wait, was he Jamaican?
Yeah, he was. I mean, his accent was Jamaican.
Okay.
For whatever reason.
The Axeman goes on to say that he is very fond of jazz music and that he would like to make a little proposition. He will be in town on the following Tuesday night at exactly 15 minutes past midnight. He swore to all the devils in hell that he would spare the occupants of any place where a jazz band was in full swing. If everyone had jazz bands playing, all would be well. However, Anyone who was not playing jazz or anyone who did not jazz it would get the axe.
That's what it said in the letter. It literally said jazz it. First of all, how cool would that have been if we had a recording of someone with an accent reading that behind you? You see what I'm saying?
Oh.
Like if your voice was louder than their voice was like, you know what I'm saying? However, anyone who was not playing jazz or anyone who did not jazz it would have.
Why do you sound like Mae West?
That's all I got. That's as Cajun as it gets. Or what's the... Is he a chicken?
Lord. Do people even know who Mae West is? Probably
not. She's the... Come and see me sometime.
Yeah.
Also, did it have to be like jazz bands, or could it be like Kenny G, like smooth jazz, like, you know?
I think it would just be jazz in general.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. That sounded like the McDonald's theme song.
I was waiting for you.
What if you didn't? The letter from the Axeman inspired a jazz song entitled Don't Scare Me, Papa, written by Joseph John Davila. Don't scare me, Papa. Ow. My side literally hurt. It was known as the Mysterious Axeman's Jazz. I listened to it.
You did?
I did. I looked it up on YouTube.
Oh, I'm gonna look it up and listen to it.
Should. It was jamming.
Okay, I'm gonna listen to it.
Hopefully, it isn't cursed.
I don't care about that.
If you listen to it and it's cursed, it's not my fault. I didn't know that it was cursed. So, but it was disclaimer, maybe allegedly. On March 19th, that following Tuesday night, all of New Orleans blasted jazz music on their record players. Going down the bayou. That's the only thing I can think. Going down the bayou. Oh my God. Dance halls were filled to capacity, and amateur bands played jazz at parties at hundreds of houses around town. Thankfully, there were no murders that night.
He probably just wanted a day off, and then he knew everybody would do it, so.
Let's just see if they'll.
Yeah.
What if somebody didn't get the memo? Like, what if somebody either didn't know how to read or just didn't pay for the newspaper, and they were like listening to. But I love country music.
On August 10th, 1919, Steve Boca, another grocer, was attacked by an axe-wielding man as he slept. When he regained consciousness, he ran out into the street looking for the man. It was then that he realized that his head had been cracked open.
Oh my God. Y'all, if y'all can hear that, that's my stomach. I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten. I have a lot going on.
I was like, is it about to rain? It sounds like thunder.
I was setting the mood. Cracked open. Ah!
He ran to the home of his neighbor where he collapsed. Steve recovered from his injuries, but he had no memory of what happened.
Why does no one ever have memories?
Because his head was cracked open.
As soon as I said it, I was like, oh yeah, head injuries.
Yeah.
51st dates.
This was the first attack after the infamous Axeman letter.
So this is about 5 months after the jazz. After they played.
Yeah.
Okay. So he is lazy. He was taking breaks.
Yeah.
He's traveling. He went from Villisca again, waited a couple years and was like, okay, I'm ready to get back. And then he waited like 7 months. Then he waited another 5 months. Lazy bones. On September 3rd, almost shout out. It was so close to being my mom's birthday.
Oh.
I'm just giving out everybody's birthdays. Social Security's 1919, 19-year-old 19-year-old Sarah Lumen was discovered lying on her bed, suffering from a head injury and missing several teeth.
Wow. I don't like loose teeth. So.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever had that dream where it's awful.
It is.
I've had dreams where I swallowed my teeth too.
Oh, that's never happened to me.
They say that if you have that dream, that it's like a vanity thing. So you're worried about your like outward appearance.
Really?
Yes. Or that you could be worried about your physical health or something that's going on. So like if you have like a speech the next day or you have like a uncomfortable meeting the next day, you might dream about your teeth falling out.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I read those dream analyses. If you could have guessed, a bloody axe was on the front lawn of her apartment building. First of all, Sarah, let's talk about it. What you need an axe for?
In an apartment.
In an apartment, if that was her axe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it could have just belonged to like a maintenance guy or something.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, because it is apartments. So,
that's true.
Yeah.
And then they have like back in the day, I don't know, like in cityscapes, land skyscrapers, like in the city, didn't they have like, in order to get to the fire extinguisher, you have to like break the glass.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen that.
Oh, and they have the little small axe in there.
Yeah. Or maybe that's what I meant. Maybe you don't break the glass. I don't know what you do. But you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I'm thinking of something else.
I just picture the fire extinguisher next to the axe.
Yeah.
And what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, maybe that's what it was. Because you're asking for it. No, Sarah, you asked for it. What you got an axe in your apartment for? Sarah recovered from her injuries, but couldn't remember any details. Again, if you want to commit serial crimes, serial. I'm a serial killer. If you want to be a serial killer, just head trauma. Hit him in the head every time.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
That's
forget.
a good idea.
Or if you cheat on your spouse.
What?
Knock him upside the head.
What?
And then it's like, what are you talking about? Oh, I guess you didn't cheat on me. I don't remember.
I don't condone this.
Oh, that does sound like domestic abuse. But you get what I'm saying? Like, you break curfew, knock your mom upside the head. She's like,
It's just getting worse.
Curfew. You didn't give me a curfew. Well, I guess I didn't. I got a splitting headache.
Oh, my God.
Okay. I tried.
The last attack was on the night of October 27th, 1919. Mike Pepitone and his wife Esther Pepitone were asleep. His wife woke up and saw what looked like two men running away. She noticed that Mike had been struck in the head and was covered in blood. Mrs. Pepitone was unable to describe the Axeman.
When you picture, is it just me or when it always says someone was like running away, do you picture them like running away like stupidly? Like,
I picture it to be like the Squidward meme when he was running off like this.
What is it, like tippy toes?
Yeah. Have you seen that meme?
I don't know.
Oh my God. That's a good one.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah.
I just picture like so uncoordinated. Like, I don't know, like an uncoordinated, like.
Wait,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like,
yeah, that's
stupid.
Pretty
like.
much the Squidward meme.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to look.
A large bolt and nut were what was suspected to be the murder weapon. There was a nearby circus in town for the weekend, but there wasn't enough evidence to suggest anything. He wasn't even attacked with an axe then.
Exactly.
So,
but I'm guessing it was still like an attack like a blow to the head.
Yeah.
It was still the same MO. He came in middle of the night, attacked them.
So this whole time we've been saying, why don't they just get rid of the axes? And he probably did, and he still got attacked.
Oh, he don't have an axe, huh? What else can I? Let me swing on over to this nearby circus that's in town for the weekend. Still a large nut and bolt. Then the tent is unstable, and there's a storm that blows through, and it knocks the tent over, and it harms all the people in the circus. Then he kills the dude.
I don't think he went through all that.
It was a quintupler homicide. No, I don't think he did all that, but yeah, similar MO, just different weapon. Yeah. So, and they're probably at this point grasping at straws.
Yeah.
Because they have no idea. According to different eyewitness accounts from his survivors, they believed the Axeman to be a what? Working class man in his 30s.
So he would have had to start. Wait, this is over a year?
Yeah, this is.
Okay.
But if we're keeping with our other theory that this could be the same person,
it still makes sense because he would be like in his 20s, like mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They figured that from the ease with which he was able to break into different grocery stores, that he was an experienced burglar.
I mean, it's weird to call somebody an experienced burglar.
He's an experienced burglar. What would you call him on like Ocean's 11? Don't they call him like master thieves?
Yeah, I think so.
He's a master thief. But yes, they thought that he was a burglar.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Does it?
Yeah.
He just went from burglaring to murdering.
Yeah.
I steal. I don't kill.
One theory speculates that the Axeman could have been Joseph Montfrey. Joseph was gunned down in Los Angeles in December 1920 by the widow of Mike Pepitone.
Whoa!
Oh, good for her. However, other accounts report that there is no evidence of a man with the name Joseph Montfrey having been killed in Los Angeles. Well, it could have been what do you call him? Could have been a fake name, like an alias.
It could have been a fake name. They were saying, which I guess if you have an alias, it shouldn't be similar to your own name. Because they were saying they didn't even find anything similar. The reports also said that there were no reports of a woman fitting her description doing the killing. Mm-hmm. Also, there was no report that she was ever arrested for such a thing.
Oh.
So, and then, where would the connection have been? Like, who is this person? And how would she know that this person is responsible for those crimes?
She said she got to look at them. So maybe she saw him and, I was going to say she Googled him.
Stop.
But yeah, this is... So some kind of way she tracked him down.
She sent there by owl. She was like, have you guys seen a men that look like this? And she drew this picture. Yeah. And then she sent it, and then somebody was like, he's headed to Mississippi. You can catch him in 3 days. No, to Los Angeles. You can catch him in 3 days.
Or she could have hired a private investigator.
She could have hired a private investigator. That's true.
Yeah. If she did, good for her.
Good for you. Defending your man in your life.
Yeah.
Another theory is that not all of the murders could be attributed to the Axeman. The murder of Mike Pepitone may have been part of a long-standing mafia vendetta.
That's interesting.
They were saying they think, I keep saying they, reports said in my research that they were thinking because they were targeting like Italian families and especially Italian families with grocery stores, that there was some sort of either someone trying to get in onto the territory or that these families may have had not necessarily ties, but like maybe they had borrowed money in order to open up their grocery stores, or that there was some way that they were linked to the mafia.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. And then it
just escalated.
Yeah, into this, like, you know how rumors start. It's like, girl, he killed 2 people, and then the next day he killed 10 people. Like something like that. Our final theory is that the Axeman is a supernatural being.
Okay.
So based on the language used in his letter posted in the newspaper, people believed him to be some sort of evil spirit from hell. So yeah, like a demon. Some sort of like boogeyman. I thought that was you.
No.
It's the Axeman. What if you just started hearing like jazz playing?
Don't do that, because
and then you got to sleep here tonight by yourself. I'm sorry.
I'll be fine.
You'll be fine. You'll be asleep. You took a
hopefully.
You took a muscle relaxer. I was about to say a horse tranquilizer. I was trying to think of something extreme. You took a horse tranquilizer. You'll be out like a light.
I could probably use one though.
A horse tranquilizer. Yeah. Just give me a horse tranquilizer and a box of wine. Puts me right to sleep.
The Axeman was never caught or identified, and his crime spree stopped abruptly. It was as if he vanished into thin air. His identity remains unknown to this day. Maybe he is an evil spirit, or either he just died.
Yeah, but did he just like leave the town?
Oh, maybe, and went to L.A. where he was murdered by the guy's
you believe
wife.
That?
I don't, but I feel like it could be possible. I just don't know how she would have known that it was him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or unless you said, like you said, she ordered a private investigator, but how would they have made the connection? Like, what were the connections being made to say that this was the person?
Maybe all I can go back to is that she knew what he looked like.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But then where would they get their other information from?
Exactly.
So maybe that didn't happen. And it couldn't be confirmed. So
nope.
I don't know.
I'm thinking most logical would be like that someone in the mafia was just like taking a reign of terror. Yeah. They were bringing in a Walmart. It was the first Walmart ever. And they were like, we got to knock all of these small time supermarkets out. That was one.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
And the other theory is that it's the Villisca. Reverend Kelly, he was the Axeman of New Orleans. Then he did go to Los Angeles. Then he got shot. He died. And then he was reincarnated into K. Riley.
Oh my God.
But first he was the Pied Piper. So he started his first time on earth was as a Pied Piper, then the Reverend Kelly, then the Axeman of New Orleans, then K. Riley. So he's currently in our time on earth.
Or
keep him coming.
Whoever it was maybe got locked up for something else.
Oh.
And they're in jail. Well, they were in jail. Or, well, the mafia thing, I feel like if it was somebody in the mafia, they wouldn't have put a letter in the newspaper.
Why not?
Because that's bringing more attention to it. I feel like the mafia would be low key.
What if it was somebody that was like young and flashy? I don't know. Endless possibilities.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm going to stop tying it back to Villisca because I was about to say, didn't they say the Reverend had mental issues? So if it was the Reverend, they had him in jail, then he released him, then he killed somebody else, then he moves on. Because, I mean, the letter sounded like someone with mental issues.
Yeah.
It's like, I swore to the demons in hell, the devils in hell, and...
True.
It's a stretch, but I'm flexible.
Lord.
I mean... That's all, folks. I couldn't get it out. I didn't even do that on purpose that time. I was like,
are you trying to be Porky Pig?
No, I was just like, wait, is this where we are at this point? We have come to the conclusion of our 2 for 1 for 2.
I forgot all about that. 2 for 1 for 2. Yeah, we should start calling. Whenever we do that, we should.
We got another 2 for 1 for 2.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at It's a Strange World Podcast and on Twitter at Pod Strange World. We would love to hear from you. Who do you think could be the Axeman of New Orleans, or do you think he is simply a myth?
Yes, we would love hearing your different theories, episode suggestions, even if it is just to say, hey, how you doing? Ooh, what's happening, Brittany? You don't remember that song?
What was that? I thought you were gonna...
How you doing?
I thought you were gonna go with My Name is Charlie, last name Wilson, but...
No. Ooh, what's happening, baby? Hey. I'm gonna play it for you after this. You're gonna be like, what?
Who sings it?
Hold on. We at the end anyway. Alexa, who sings? How you doing? Is it Kenny G? Speaking of.
What? Thank you for tuning into another episode of
It's a Strange World After All. Thank you for joining us in our last recording in this apartment that has given us so much joy.
Headache.
They almost got into multiple fights. The people across the street got evicted.
You just putting everybody's business.
They said you couldn't smoke cigarettes or anything, even on your balconies. It's just,
Thank God I don't smoke cigarettes.
It's so hard to say goodbye to this apartment. The last thing I will say is that we will always remember that you gave us the first 2 months of a podcast, 2 to 3 months of our podcast.
Yeah, 3 months. I think it's 3.
Yeah. No matter how difficult it may have been to get a recording. Okay, thank you for keeping it strange with us. Did I say that already?
No.
Thank you. I was being sentimental for keeping it strange with us.
Thank you.
Bye. Until next time.